Alright guys, stay tuned. We're gonna show you how this project is kicking his
You can't say that.
it's kicking his butt.
Alright.
Okay.
Moving on. Welcome back to another exciting and thrill-filled adventure with DIY Nautical Dream. Okay, maybe that was a little over the top. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get our next video started. Here at top, Second Burrows Peak. Welcome back to another episode of DIY Nautical Dream. And I'm Rich. Together, we make DIY Nautical Dream. Second Burrows here, Mount Rainier National Park. We are way high up this time. Not sure what the elevation is, but it's up there.
It's millions.
It's a beautiful hike. Well, stay tuned. See ya.
Please stay tuned.
Here we go, starting out on our way to the boat. All right, by the time we get there, it'll be daylight out. Yep. See ya. Bye.
Welcome back, guys. So, this episode, Rich, continuing removing the Portlights,
Yep,
right?
totally.
Are you having fun?
Struggling, but yeah, having a good time for sure. It's exactly what I want to be doing. I want to get those things out. They all leak and everything like that. So yeah, we want to get them out. No problem there. It's just not easy.
All right, and then you're still doing or removing the thick trim and panels from aft cabin, right?
Yep, we got to remove that rotted bulkhead the surveyor found. You know, that's a really bad part of the boat back there. So we're gonna get that out and see what it's all about behind there.
All right, and what else you're doing?
Oh, I got to get the teak plugs out first before we can get that off and get some of the teak trim out of there. So we'll keep on keeping on.
All right,
Yep.
So you're having fun so far?
Oh yeah, so far having a good time.
And what else you discover?
We discovered that behind the TV is a treasure trove of goodies we had no idea was back there. Yeah, so we open up the TV, it swings forward on a hinge door, and behind there was, well, looks to be like a computer and built-in wireless keyboard, and there's a Dolby surround sound system built into this boat, which we had no idea was in there. So yeah, we'll show you that, but we don't want to keep talking about it. We want to get busy and actually do something, right?
Yep. All right, guys, stay tuned. We're gonna show you how this project is kicking his
You can't say that.
It's kicking his butt.
All right.
Okay.
Moving on. All right, here we go again in the aft cabin, working on getting those stubborn port lights out. We'll get them. Okay, so for today our plan is I'm planning to get all these windows out. I want to get this one out. Man, hope I can clean that glass up. That is just, I hope that comes off of there. And then that one's already been removed, which is, did that last weekend. And It's all taped off, hasn't been leaking in, so that's good. And then we'll get this one out. And then my plan is to get this teak plywood off of here. That means I got to remove this trim right here, and that trim all the way across, and this one here. I got to remove these the bungs out of the teak here, but I already bought some new ones to put in there, so I got to drill all those out. Remove this one here, that. Hoping to get this out, this window. And what I want to do is have all this taken apart, take this plywood home, and this one. So I got to drill all these plugs out of here. And yeah, then I'll take those home, use them as templates, cut the new pieces, and then finish them. I'll varnish them and everything at home. And that was just something I wanted to check too, because I want to see what kind of finish they have on here. And it's definitely not really, it's looks like a satin finish. It's not really glossy, so that helps. Now I know what kind of finish to put on there, so I just gotta figure out what kind of varnish I want to get. But yeah, so that'll be cool. That's the plan for today. If I get all these windows out, so we got 2, 4, 5 windows. Want to get all those out, and I'll mark which one goes where, identify all the pieces of trim, which position it goes in, all that. Get all those out, and that'll be really good progress for today. And then the next plan will be is to come in here. Probably won't get that far today, but the next plan is to come in here and get these windows out too. And I think we're gonna redo this in teak. I think I'm gonna make this wood, and we'll just treat it really well. I know there's a lot of moisture in here from the shower and being in the bathroom and everything like that, but I just think it's gonna look better with wood instead of this white plastic. I do not like it. I won't change the ceiling. I'll leave the ceiling with the white on it, but I think I'm gonna remake this into teak. So I just think it'll look nicer. It'll give it a better nautical feel. And since we are DIY Nautical Dream, we want it to be as nautical as possible. So, yep. So that's the plan. Kind of like that sink though. It's nice. But yeah, we got some plans for this bathroom. So, but they're way down the line for now. But yeah, so that's the plan. If we can get all 5 of these windows out, and all the trim down and all the plywood, and bring all that home, that'll be good. That'll be a good productive day. Looks like it goes behind there. That's gonna be. Hopefully that just slides out. Okay, well, we'll see. All right, so that's the plan for today. Get the windows out. Okay, so what I've done is I've gone through and labeled the trim pieces, and that'll help a lot when it's time to put everything back together. We'll know where it all goes, and help take, if any of them seem like I can't figure out where they go, this will help take the guesswork out of it for us. So, but yeah, I think it's going to come apart fairly well. I think the only things that will give us any kind of trouble will be these pieces here, because they're tack nailed in with small nails, and I don't want to break that trim. I don't want to break it taking it out. So let's see what else. Okay, this piece here as well, the bottom trim piece, it's all tack nailed to this plywood, so I'm gonna have to be really careful with that, because this trim piece is nice and I don't want to damage it. And especially the plywood here, you can see that it's got some issues. You know, it's definitely been rotting for a while. So we're gonna be careful with that, because I want to get this out of here in one piece and be able to use it as a nice template. So this side over here, you know, I don't know, it's not, yeah, it's gone. It kind of didn't look like it was that bad, but it's gonna have to get repaired. So anyways, no problem. We were planning on doing it anyways, but I'll kind of show you what's going on here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but down in here, there's some water. Anyways, there's water down in here in these tracks. And it's just been coming in, you know, from the window here. You can see it's been leaking around these edges for a while. And then you can definitely see where it's been coming in at the base of this window. And it might not be the window frame leaking as much as maybe it's the gasket in this window leaking more than the frame. And that's okay. We're gonna replace that too. So I got some gaskets on the way, and we'll open these up and replace the gasket that goes all the way around in there and seal that. And I'm hoping I can clean this window up without having to take it out of the frame. Yeah, I don't know about that part yet. So we'll see what's going on there. Anyways, that's the plan. So we'll get going on it. Okay. So far, we were able to get a couple of these out already. The little teak plugs, teak bungs. Anyways, they come right out pretty easy. So got a couple of them out. Not too much fuss on those. And so all I'm doing is just drilling a small starter hole, and then I put a bigger bit in there, and usually that bigger bit has enough grab to it that it just will pull it right out. So let's see what happens here on this one here. See? Just like that, comes out. Here you can see a couple examples of what it looks like after the teak plugs have been removed, or teak bungs, whichever you prefer to call them. But they're a bit of a hassle to get out, but once you get the technique down, they're not so bad. And then putting them back in is a little bit different, but we'll get to that at another time. One hole doesn't want to cooperate, so let me take some more. I'm gonna take a small screw, drill bit, and we're gonna make this guy. Start taking the screws out. See how that turns out. Wow, long ones. Alright, so it's going to be really interesting to see what's behind here once I get this off. Right. Ah, more trim. More screws. At least this isn't rotted, so that's good. Looks like I'm going to have to label that. Okay, so we got one piece of trim down. Yay, finally. Man, so many teak plugs and screws hidden all over inside that to get it out. You'd think it was a work of art, but we got a lot more to go. Okay, so we got that piece of trim off of there, and it came off pretty easy. And then right behind there, we have another piece of wood holding this plywood into place. So I'm gonna have to put a label on here real quick, and then pull those screws out. And I like to mark where the screws have come from, just because I don't know how long it's going to be before we're putting this back together, and I don't want to lose track of where they came from. Obviously we're going to replace them with new ones, but we still want to maintain the length and where they came from. Okay. We'll just tape those to this like we did that. Making a little bit of progress here, but it's not going as fast as I was hoping it would. But at least we got that piece of trim off, and we have a better idea of what these panels look like to be able to be removed. And it's not as easy as it looks from the outside. Everything's layered and has different screws hidden behind different pieces of teak and trim. So we'll get it. Okay, so we got that piece of trim off of there, and the inside piece of trim. And then we still have more screws. So we'll at least keep going. I didn't expect another set of screws to be back here, but that's what we got. So we'll keep going, see what's underneath there. What kind of surprises await us once that's ready to come off. This next piece of trim is a little bit delicate. It's very thin and it's in good shape, so I don't want to break it. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get this off, and I want to be careful. Okay, so we got the bottom piece of trim that was along here has been removed, and I made marks on there so we can see where it goes when it goes back on. Got the corner piece of trim out of there as well, so it's kind of like taking a puzzle apart backwards. Okay, it feels like we're making a little bit of progress now. I got the trim off. Can see the corners here, and actually you can see behind that rotted teak panel, and it's actually just a fiberglass bulkhead back there. It's not a rotted bulkhead like the surveyor said. Okay, so now I'm just kind of looking around to see what's next and observing what we've taken apart, and just kind of keeping it right in my mind to know how it's going to go back together. Even though it's going to be new pieces going in, I still want to kind of get a good memory of what it looks like before it comes completely apart. And right here, more pieces have to come off in order to get full access. It's always that way on a boat. There's always more things to take apart than you realize going into it. Okay, I'll need to relabel that. Okay, we got all the screws out. Now in order for the teak panels to come out, these Portlights have to come out. They're holding them in. So that's the next step. It's never a good thing when I reach for this blade, but when I'm reaching for this, that means I'm struggling. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure something out here. Man, it's just air everywhere. You can just feel they packed this with 5200, and that didn't stop the leak because the leak is right here.
is leaking in the glass and the seal around here. They thought it was leaking around there, but it's not as much anyways. We're getting there. We're making a little bit of progress.
At this point, I've given up being nice to it. I've given up trying to protect the gel coat. I've given up trying to do a nice clean job. At this point, I'm just going to get this thing out of here, no matter what it takes, and we'll repair the carnage later. But this thing's coming out. One way or the other, it's coming out. It's not going to win. Not this time. It's going to cause some rework in the long run, but we'll get it out no matter what. 5200 does not belong anywhere above the waterline.
Yeah, there's no easy way to get this out of here. I had to maglite it, and I'm still working on getting this off. But yeah, you can just see they packed and packed this thing with 5200. It is like just crazy. There was no way to do it without mangling. So you know, that's just what it is. So we'll be fixing this one like the other one.
Well, we're so close, but yet so far. We just got to get this trim ring off, and we're home free. And then we can clean up the remaining seal, tape over the hole, and call it good. But I went ahead and pulled on this thing, and it came off, but it took a lot of fiberglass with it. It took the gel coat and the fiberglass off with it. That just shows you how hard the 5200 holds, but yet it was still leaking at the same time. Well, so here's what was behind that teak panel in the aft cabin. We finally got the Portlights out and was able to get that panel off, and lo and behold, it's actually fiberglass. It's fiberglass structure back there. It's not a rotted bulkhead after all. It was just a teak panel that was rotted because the windows were leaking, but the structure behind it is fine. Okay, so here we go. We got the second window out in the back. Got the very back piece of teak plywood removed. Have all the side trim removed over here, ready for these two windows to come out next time. And then went ahead and removed this window gasket. So I'm going to order some more of those, and we'll take that home with us and order some more of that. And look at the disaster area here, man. And then also got the side trim pieces off over here as well. So next time we'll take out hopefully this window here, this window here, and this window here. And then also what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the glass out, or plastic, whatever it is, and Lexan, I don't know what it is, but anyways, I'm going to take that out and have some more new pieces cut, and I'll reseal those in. Same with this one here. So I might just end up doing it to all of them, just depending on how bad they look, but I can tell you this is not going to clean up. So anyways, that's where we're at. So yep, slow progress today, but we earned it. Anyways, well, here's a look at the mess we made in the aft cabin. Oh, I mean, that's what we call progress. The bigger the mess, the better the progress. So we're getting there. We got that panel off. We were able to expose the aft bulkhead there and see that it's not rotted at all. But the panel itself is very rotted. And this is what's left of the aft bulkhead teak plywood that where the back windows were. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, I had to tape it to keep it into one piece, because what I want to do is I want to bring this home, and I'm going to use it for a pattern template. Yep. But yeah, it's in pretty bad shape, so that's alright. We'll get it. We will get it. I'm glad we got it off in one piece, but they really, oh my gosh, did they use a lot of 5200 back there. Anyways, that's what we got going on. So alright, taking a break from that for this day and moving on to other things. We knew that they had some Bose speakers up on the mounted up on the walls, up on the panels, but we didn't know if there was a system in the boat or not, if somebody just installed the speakers. So I started looking around, and I looked underneath the nav station, and I found this big black box in there, and sure enough, that's the Bose controller for the surround sound system, which is really nice. So does it work? Let's find out. I guess the first thing we better do is turn on the TV. I mean the computer. Or is it a TV? Or is it a TV computer? I don't know. We better turn it on and see if it works. Yeah, so we were looking around the boat, found this keyboard right here underneath the in the nav desk. So we're like, wonder what's going on with that. Put some batteries in it, and I turned on the TV and it said PC. So I opened up the TV from behind, and there's this is kind of wild. I haven't seen one like this before, but anyways, back behind here is this thing right here. So we're like, maybe that's a computer. Small one, but still. Anyways, look at here. We got it booted up, and
I think this is his navigation or something.
yeah, so
It's
this is
like all crazy stuff.
kind of wild.
Which one do you want me to open?
Is there one that says music on it?
Yeah, well, iTunes.
All right. Anyway, so that's what we got going on here. We're a little off focus. We came here to do some cleaning, but now we're curious on this computer TV thing. So more to come on this later. Next, we'll try the DVD player and the home theater system. See if that works. See if it has any decent sound in this boat.
If you want to bring a movie tape here,
Yeah.
you're good to go.
So now we got the home theater system figured out, which is kind of cool. That's wild. Got the Bose speakers in here, all this around. I have to say, it actually sounds really good. Well, I guess that's we can mark that job off the list. Wasn't on the high priority, but we got it figured out. That's cool. One of the projects I like to do is take this drawing of the interior of the boat and lay out where every through hole, every passageway through the hole is that's below the water line, so that we could have an idea where to find it if we ever need to check for leaks or if there's a fitting that failed. I'm not sure what this thing here is. Don't know how to look into that, see what that is all about. Okay, so if you remember in last week's video, we weren't sure what this piece of equipment was for. Well, now we're looking into it a little bit more, and we found out that this is a forward-looking sonar. So because it's a forward-looking sonar, that explains why there's that weird-looking transducer on the bottom of the forward section of the hull up front, and it's kind of triangular shaped. So we'll head forward up to the forward cabin area, and we'll lift up the floorboard there and see what the transducer looks like from the inside of the boat. Okay, so now with the floorboard lifted up, we can see down into the forward bilge up in the forward cabin area. And looking around here, and there it is, this really long, see the long, tall transducer sticking up there off the floor with the angle block? That's the one that leads down to that forward-facing sonar transducer that's odd shaped that we see on the bottom of the hull. That's it right there. So now the question is, do we keep it? Does it work? Do we need it? And the question is it going to be in the way of the sling when they go to lift the boat up to put the boat in the water or to take it out? Is this going to be in a bad spot? It looks like it's been there for quite some time, so I'm kind of inclined to just leave it there, and especially if the unit works, then we'll probably just end up leaving it. But it does look like it's in a risky spot, but time will tell. So we wanted to inspect the other chain plate that was opposite of the chain plate that was on the left side of the hull that we did the tap test around last time. And we want to check the other one on the opposite side just to be sure that those two are the main chain plates that support the mast. And we want to make sure those are good and steady and we don't have to worry about them. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this one as well. So it's going to take a little bit to gain access on this one. It's a little bit more tricky to get to, but we got to go take a look so we know what's going on in there. Okay, so now we have the screws removed, and so now we're going to go ahead and have the first look here. We'll slide this out of the way. Oh, there you go. So far it's not looking too bad in there. We'll take a little bit closer look just to be sure. But first indication looks pretty good. And yeah, it's not looking bad at all. I'm happy. I'm impressed with what we see here. There's a little bit of moisture down there, but not bad. Let's see here. Yeah, without doing a tap test above, I'd say this one looks like it's in better shape than the other side was. Just to be sure, we'd have to remove the actual chain plate and check it for pitting and corrosion and look at the bolts that are supporting it. But from what we can see right here, at first glance. Doesn't look bad. All right. We expected a little bit of moisture in there, but that's not bad at all. So as we're putting it back together and putting the screws back in the access cover and things like that, I like to put a little piece of blue tape on there to mark it saying it's good. That's just to let us know that we've done a general visual inspection of that, and we'll follow up later with something a little bit more thorough, but at least we have peace of mind knowing that it doesn't look as bad as we were expecting. So I'm kind of curious to see what's behind this panel here. So we're going to go ahead and work on getting these screws out. They're really tiny screws, so they're kind of hard to get onto, and it's back in there a little ways. So we'll go ahead and pull those out and see what's going on in there. Curious to see what's behind this panel. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, that looks like HVAC ducting for heating and air conditioning. That's interesting. Boy, that's a hard spot to get to if you want to change that out. Man. Okay, well, that's pretty interesting. Didn't expect to find that in there, but that's what it is. So we now know what's going on in there, and we're just kind of sliding this cover back out of the way again one more time. Stepping back, taking a look, and there you go. That's what's behind there. So now we can label it as good and move on knowing what we know is in there now. Okay, so with that area restored, we can pretty much say that the two main chain plates that support the mast are looking good, and overall I think we're going to feel good about the rest of the chain plates on the boat. That doesn't mean we won't inspect them again sometime later on down the road and check them all out, but for now we're not going to worry about it as much as we were at first after what the surveyor had to say. We feel pretty good with what we're finding so far, and we're going to move on to doing other things.
Alright guys, that's all for this week's video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe down below. See you.
See ya. Thanks for watching.
Now there's a nice looking shell. I'd keep that one.
And what's that?
My idea. Oh, we got a boat coming. It's this guy. Nice. Dang. 5 engines on the back. That was sweet.